Good afternoon, everyone. We have manager Bud Black here. If you have questions for Bud for this pregame session, go ahead and raise your hands and we'll get started. Danielle.
Hey, buddy, can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay, we can't see you, but it's all good. There we go. We just watched Peter Lambert throw his bullpen session out there. What's the next step for him?
How did he do?
I mean, from this far away, he looked good.
All right, great.
Don't have binoculars, though, so hard to tell.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to check with Peter and the pitching coaches to see how he did, see how he feels. We'll see how he feels tomorrow. And the next step will be for him to throw a game probably later in the week, either here with us or in Triple-A.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Kevin Henry.
Hey, buddy, I see Garrett is back in the leadoff spot tonight. Can you just he's kind of a little bit of a roller coaster season, but what has he done at the plate lately to kind of lock back in?
Well, I think the overall at-bats have been better. He's gotten some base hits. He's taken a few more walks. I think overall just the quality of the at-bats have been better. You've seen a few guys, the last 2 or 3 weeks in the leadoff spot. You saw Rodgers there. You've seen Charlie there. You've seen Hampson there. You've seen Tapia there. We're looking for and continue to look for, those guys who have the ability to get on base. You want your on-base percentage guys at the top of the order. Those are the guys who are usually hitting for a higher average or, getting on base the most. That's what you want. And we're trying to, figure out the best guys, for those positions at the top. Rodgers is doing great, hitting at the top of the order. His OPS is over 800. On base is, 330, 340-ish. He's doing fine. We're trying to get Hampson, obviously, to, get to a little bit higher level of on base. He's done so recently, so that's a good sign. It's a good thing.
And then with leadoff, can't help but ask about Connor Joe and his status. How's he doing?
Connor just is doing, just okay. I think that with Connor, it's going to be a really close here to the finish line, whether he makes it or not. I spoke with him today. We're probably going to make, that determination in a day or two to see where he is physically, but quite honestly, it's not looking too good for Connor. The hamstring's still sore, and whether it makes sense to push it or not is the question, and the answer is probably not.
Thanks, buddy.
Yep.
Thomas Harding.
Buddy, what are the determining factors in whether Peter Lambert pitches here or in the minors?
I want to see how he feels physically. I want to know his emotional state coming back from all these minor league rehab assignments, and whether he's ready to pitch in the big leagues, whether he feels as though he's ready, and whether our pitching coaches do and our trainers do, our player development people. Those are the determining factors. Okay,
so I guess the A answer is you want him to be ready to pitch here, right? Or at least you're trying to look at him. Hey,
right. I'd like that to happen. Yeah.
Hey, going back to the leadoff spot here. Tapia functioned well in it for a period of time, then didn't, then got hurt when he was trying to get it back. Do you see him as a leadoff hitter, or do you feel like after the number of at-bats this year that he's a down in the order hitter or a bench player? What do you see from Tapia?
Well, you'd like to think that he's a leadoff hitter, based on his ability to hit and a little bit of an on-base component via the walk. We saw some very good things for a lot of the season from Tap. I think he profiles as one, but it's about performance, as you know, and we've talked about that. But I guess to your answer, yes, I think he does profile as one.
Okay, and just to follow up a little bit more, is it fair to say that that Hampson, you talked about some of his strengths. I can see him working either way. I mean, do you see him profiling as the leadoff hitter or not?
If he gets on base, I think he understands that role, which is, that of a, I know the word table setter has been used a lot in the history of the game. But, when you're talking about a leadoff hitter, it's changed a little bit over the years, right? Over the last few decades, or maybe a generation. But you're talking about a spot where you want your best and most productive hitters at the top of the order because they get the most at-bats during the course of a game. And if you have a guy who can get on base with speed, that really helps you, I think, change the complexion of the pitcher-catcher dynamic. A little bit of the infielders, a little bit of the outfielders. Initial pressure at the top of the order with speed. I think with Hampy, I think there's going to be, hopefully, enough power in there to present danger initially to a pitcher, right? Leadoff hitter with power and speed, but it all centers around, the player's ability to get on base via the hit tool or the walk tool, the things that add up to on base percentage.
That's one for me, especially if you guys are able to add some more thump to this lineup. Can't help but think back just a few years where Charlie Blackmon functioned as a power hitting leadoff guy, and he had guys behind him that had some hit ability and some power. Any thought to eventually maybe constructing a lineup where you go back to that? I know he's one of your best hitters right now, and you have him at a spot for some solid reasons. But yeah,
potentially, yeah. But Charlie, 17, 18, was an all-star, and the way our roster was constructed, and the way our lineup worked best, had him at the top of the order. And Charlie was, digging that, leading off. He was fine with it. Actually, Charlie's fine no matter where you hit him. But, that made the most sense to us, was to lead him off based on our group of other 7 position players.
Thanks, buddy.
Yep.
Nick Roque.
Yeah, buddy. Couple pitching questions for you. Can you there was league wide, there was some concern coming out of the 60-game season last year for starting pitchers this season. Did you share those concerns? Was your hypothesis about how they might react, how those starting pitchers might react, has that played out at all this year?
Yeah, well, I think you got to take, every team is different. Every pitching staff is different. But yeah, we were concerned about a number of our players, our pitchers, and their workload, and others maybe not so much, based on what they'd done in the past and where they are in their careers. But it was a common topic of conversation amongst the coaching staff about the handling of our pitchers and their workloads. Yeah.
So, the reason I ask, I'm looking around the league and I see there are definitely a lot of bullpen games. I like, not to cast aspersions or whatever, but it seems some pitchers, it almost seems like they're a little bit gassed. Pitchers who've done it before, who've gone all the way to the post.
I agree. I agree.
Are you seeing that?
Yeah, I am.
And and then what I'm getting at then, I guess, is Herman's done it before. He's pitched 200 innings before. Are you noticing him tiring out a little bit here?
There's been some games where his stuff hasn't been as crisp, but then he's bounced back and it's been very solid. So, he threw a bullpen session Sunday. Felt great. He and the pitching coach both remarked that, his stuff was his normal side stuff. Felt good. Granted, he pared it down. I mean, the number of pitches he threw was not like he might throw in May or June, but not a huge difference. But there has been some, and I think it's natural, right, based on what he came off of last year. He might be at times through the course of a game a little bit. That's natural.
Yeah, gotcha. And then are we past the point where you're able to even get him out? I mean, is it even worth it at this point to?
He wants to keep pitching. We want to pitch him. I think for the the integrity of the season, especially this week and who we're playing. I think it's important for baseball. I think Herman, we're looking at the start on Wednesday. And I think one more on this homestand, then we'll discuss, the rest of the season.
Gotcha. Thanks, buddy.
You bet.
We'll go Mark Stout, the Lions.
Hi, buddy. How will you kind of outline these two series with the Dodgers and the Giants with your guys? Is this just another chance to experience almost playoff-like baseball?
Well, I think it's important for us to continue to play how we've been playing the last couple months, continue to grow as a team, and also individual players have some challenges that, they're trying to accomplish, whether it's through mechanics or whether it's through maybe statistical performance, right? Some certain, numbers that guys are trying to achieve. Guys are always trying to put up numbers. We know that it's part of professional sports, across the board. I think from a learning experience standpoint, I think this is a good week for our guys. I've said that before. This last road trip, playing the Phillies, playing the Braves, was, a great test. This series again, going up against two teams that we're all familiar with. They're familiar with us. We're familiar with them. So it comes down to good, solid baseball. Whoever plays the best with, not a whole lot of tricks or unknowns. But I want our guys to feel, part of this race in some way, which we are. We impact. The bigger thing for me is to play good, sound baseball and keep getting better. I want, Valade has an opportunity tonight to show his talent as a young 22-year-old player. Sensatella has a, opportunity to, continue what he's been doing the last few weeks, and that's solid pitching. So it's just great competition, which I think I enjoy, and I think the players enjoy as well.
Thank you, bud.
Patrick Lyons.
Hey, buddy. I kind of had a similar question just about, right now you've got a 6-man bench, a lot of guys age 27 and younger. How are you looking to balance out the playing time here in the final 2 weeks?
Well, we'll pop guys in and out as you've noticed what we've done over the last couple of weeks. There's no set schedule or rotation how we're gonna use guys. Dom will continue to work his way in there with Elias behind the plate. Rodgers has played quite a bit here. Hampson's played a little bit because he's been swinging the bat better. But you'll see Hilliard, you'll see Daza, you'll see Valade, you'll see Welker. You'll see these guys in some form, whether it's a pinch hit, a start, a double switch. They'll get on the field. Ruiz is pinch hit a lot. So you'll see our guys.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Any